Okay, about to get started here. It's going to wait another minute or two. Let everything settle in here. Okay, about to get started here. Fantastic. Got the audio up. All right. I think we are good to go. Let's get this thing started. All right, what's up, everybody? Seth here from Foundational Marketing Hub, and welcome to another live training session for foundation repair and basement waterproofing professionals. Today, we're going to dig into one of the most misunderstood parts of SEO, and that's off-page SEO. And what I'm going to show you is exactly how we turn Google's trust into local calls and booked jobs. So whether you're watching this on live right now or you're catching this on a replay, make sure that you go ahead and you hit that like button and subscribe to our channel. We drop marketing breakdowns like this every single month to help business owners grow smarter and not to spend more. So now, quick heads up, if you stick with me till the end, I have something special for you guys. I got a free download for you. It's the off-page SEO playbook for foundation repair and basement waterproofing professionals. It's the exact checklist we use with our own clients to build trust, earn backlinks, and boost Google Maps and on the rankings without wasting any money. So grab a coffee. I got my water here. And make sure you close out any of your tabs and we can just jump right into it. All right, let's do this. So today's session is called Turn Google's Trust into Local Calls, the off-page SEO made simple. And let's just jump right in. And before we actually dive in, let's be honest a second about why most foundation repair and basement waterproofing professionals struggle with this stuff. And maybe you've said this to yourself before, like, I don't have enough time to do marketing, or I'm not tech savvy, and this SEO stuff kind of feels confusing, or it's too late, my competitor's already dominating Google Maps, or we've tried SEO before and it didn't work, or even we just don't have the budget for some fancy marketing agency. If any of that sounds familiar, that's good. That's exactly who this session is built for, because here's the truth. The off-page SEO isn't about hacking Google or learning code. It's about earning trust. And when Google trusts your business, meaning other sites mention you or they link to you, or people leave real reviews, you start climbing up in the map rankings, not because you're paid more, because you built more credibility. And by the end of this session, you'll see exactly how that trust turns directly into calls, leads, and book jobs. And I'm going to walk you through what we call our 4-part trust system. It's the exact framework we use for foundation repair and basement waterproofing professionals to show up higher on Google Maps, look more credible online, and turn visibility into steady local leads, all without getting buried in tech or spending thousands on guesswork. And here's something to look forward to. Everyone here will get a free copy of that off-page SEO playbook I mentioned earlier. And this playbook includes the same strategies and examples and the checklist that we'll be walking through today. Things like backlinks to chase and which ones to avoid, and how to build local authority the right way. And I'll show you exactly how to grab this copy at the end. So stay with me, because by the time this is all done, you're not gonna you'll not only just understand how off-page SEO works, you'll have a clear plan on how to own it yourself. So let's jump right into this. Okay. So here's what we're going to cover today so you know exactly where we're heading. I'm going to walk you through a simple 4-part trust system. This is the exact framework, like I said, that we use for foundation repair and basement waterproofing clients to help them attract consistent, high-quality leads month after month. And here's what that looks like. Part 1 is trust signals Google actually sees. We'll start with what makes Google believe your business is legitimate and credible. Things like your business listing your NAP consistency, making sure those small but powerful local authority mentions. Um, these are things that most competitors actually overlook. And the part two is the real mentions and the backlinks that actually count. Then I'll show you how to get featured on real local websites like the Chamber of Commerce, news outlets, partner sites, not just those junky spam link farms that can actually hurt your rankings. You'll see how the right mentions create authority that feed directly into your Google Maps ranking, and they'll get your phone ringing. Part three is reviews and reputation that converts. This one's a big deal because reviews are one of Google's strongest trust signals. I'll show you how to consistently earn high quality reviews and respond to them the right way, even if you're just starting with just a handful of them. Part four is tools and tracking for momentum. Finally, we'll just put it all together and I'll give you the exact tools and systems we use to automate follow up, to track growth, and keep your presence consistent on every platform without spending hours each week. By the end of today's training, you'll have a clear plan on how to build local trust and show up higher in the Google Maps and turn that visibility into steady calls and book jobs, all without confusion and agency fees and feeling just overwhelmed in general. Sound good? All right, so let's jump in to part one. Okay, so part one is trust signals that Google sees. And when homeowners search foundation repair near me or basement waterproofing in, enter whatever city that you're in, Google isn't just it isn't just guessing on who to show first. It's actually ranking based off trust. Trust is built from signals that prove you're a real, local, and reliable business. So, what does trust actually look like to Google? There's three big factors it pays attention to. Number one is consistency. And this is your business information like your name, your address, your phone number, and website. This is what we call the NAP, the NAP. It needs to match exactly everywhere it appears online. That means on your Google business profile, Yelp, BBB, Home Advisor, your local Chamber of Commerce listing, every single one of them, the spelling needs to be the exact same, the same format, and the same phone number. And here's why that actually matters. According to White Spark's 2024 local search ranking factor study, consistency of NAP information and primary categories are among some of the top 5 ranking factors for the Google Map Pack. And in Maz's 2023 local SEO report, they found that businesses with inconsistent NAP data across 10 plus directories had 22% fewer views in the Google Maps on average. Think of it this way. If Google sees your address listed different ways, it's telling someone 3 slightly different stories about you. And it kind of starts to doubt if one of those is right. And when Google isn't sure, it actually holds back your visibility. And that's where data aggregators come in. And this is one of the most practical tips from our off-page SEO playbook. It's on pages 10 through 11. Platforms like Data Axle, Newstar, Localize, Foursquare, these push your correct business data to hundreds of apps and directories automatically. So if you've ever moved offices or changed your numbers or served multiple cities, these tools actually save you hours and prevent errors that can tank your rankings. Number 2 is local mentions. When local sites, associations, or news outlets mention your business by name, even without giving a link, Google sees that as proof as you're a real part of the community. And these don't have to have like massive PR hits. A simple featured contractor mention in a local home improvement website or a Chamber Commerce blog that highlights a community project, or even like a realtor's neighborhood newsletter linking to one of your foundation tip posts. These all count as trust signals. And according to Bright Local's 2024 Local Consumer Review Survey, 43% of people say seeing a business mentioned on a local site or Facebook group makes them trust it more. And Google interpret this the exact same way the community presents it as credibility. In our playbook on page 14 to 18, you're going to find a checklist called Local Trust Builders. And these are places like home shows, neighborhood directories, and trade associations that Google uses to verify that you're real. Number 3 is engagement and reviews. Google wants to see that real people are interacting with your business right now, not a ghost listing from 2019. They want fresh reviews, especially those that include photos or location, phrases like basement waterproofing in Kansas City. Those are gold. In fact, Weisspark's same 2024 study found that review quantity and the recency of it and the response rate actually combined for 30% of the map pack's ranking weight. So yes, your engagement literally tells Google you're active and trustworthy. And here's a pro tip from our clients. Ask a customer to mention their city or neighborhood in their review. That helps Google connect your business to specific service areas. So the key takeaway for this part 1 is that you're not trying to trick Google into ranking you higher. You're showing it why you deserve to be trusted. And when Google trusts you, homeowners trust you. And that's when the phone starts ringing. So now, before we jump into backlinks, let's stay on trust for a moment, because one of the easiest ways to build trust outside of your website is through social media. And you're already doing great work in people's homes. We're just going to make sure that the same credibility shows up online too, in a way that Google and your neighborhoods notice. Let's jump to the next slide. So this is mainly going to be about understanding aggregators and how they keep your business, businesses trusted online, basically. Before we jump into this, so we got an understanding now of why consistency actually matters. Let's talk about how to actually keep everything consistent without spending all day fixing listings manually. This is where data aggregators come in. And if you take one thing away from this part, it's this. Aggregators are like the plumbing system of your online presence. When you update your business information in one place, those updates flow out to hundreds of websites, directories, and apps automatically. Think of them as distribution hubs that feed data to places like Google, Apple Maps, Yelp, Facebook, and even in-car GPS systems, all without even touching one of them. So now here are some of the main players that actually handle this data flow. One is Data Axle, formerly known as Infogroup. This one actually feeds data into major navigation apps, online directories, and even assistants like Siri and Alexa. Newstar Localize it syncs your business into info across hundreds of different local platforms, including ones like small businesses, things like merchant databases, and government records. The next would be Foursquare. This power location data from more than 150,000 apps, included Apple Maps, Airbnb, and DoorDash. The next is the YP network, which provides data to Yellow Pages, Dexnos, and Super Pages, which still carry weight in Google's local ecosystem. There's the GPS network. This ensures that your address shows up correctly inside of a car's navigation systems like Ford's, Toyota, and Uber's. And here's why this actually matters. In Bright Local's 2024 local SEO accurate study, studied that businesses that update through aggregators had a 23% higher consistency scores than those doing it manually. And that directly correlated with improvement on the map pack rankings. And in our own testing with clients, using one of these data aggregators updates was equivalent to manually fixing like 80 to 100 individual listings. That means you don't have to do that yourself. It does it automatically. And the other benefit is protection. Aggregators prevent old and incorrect data from resurfacing. So if your business has ever moved, changed names, or maybe you added a new service area, they stop those outdated listings from creeping back into Google's index. So in your off-page SEO playbook, you'll actually find a list of some of the top aggregators on page 10 and 11, along with pricing ranges for each of them and kind of a quick start checklist for setting all them up. So when every listing across the web, from Google Maps to Yelp to the GPS in someone's car, it actually shows your name and information, and Google sees your business as legitimate. stable, and reliable. And like I said, whenever it trusts that information, your visibility will jump, and so does your call volume. All right, so now that your info is consistent and it's synced across the web, let's take it one step further and talk about how the social activity builds even more trust. All right, before we jump into backlinks, let's connect one more off-page signal that a lot of people overlook, which is your social media presence. Now, I'm not talking about becoming an influencer or posting, daily dance trends. I'm talking about social media as a trust amplifier for Google. Google's job is to rank real, active local businesses. So when it sees your name appearing across Facebook, Nextdoor, or even YouTube, and people are tagging you, sharing your photos, leaving comments, it recognizes those as brand mentions. And here's the interesting part. According to Bright Local's 2024 local search study, over 50% of local SEO professionals believe social engagement indirectly improves local rankings because it increases brand searches and drives natural backlinks. In other words, social activity doesn't just get you likes, it feeds the same signal Google measures as trust. And here's how to keep it simple. One, pick a platform your locals actually use. If most of your homeowners are on Facebook groups, start there. If your city's big on Nextdoor, focus there. One active profile beats 5 forgotten ones. 2, turn one job into 3 posts. If every finished project, you can just give a 30-second video showing the problem and how you fixed it, take a before and after photo that they have to swipe through, or just a short tip post like 3 signs your basement needs a quick check after rain. These don't just show your work, they actually create shareable assets that earn local mentions and sometimes even backlinks when blogs or community pages embed them. The third is engage like a neighbor, not a marketer. When someone posts, "Who do I call for small foundation crack?" reply with real advice, no hard pitch. That reply might actually get screenshotted and shared in links in a neighborhood roundup. And each of those is a small off page signal. 4 would be turn social posts into SEO signals. When someone shares posts or tags your page or links to your website in a recommendation, that creates a citation style backlink. Even if it's a no follow, it still builds trust that can lead to stronger organic links later. Number 5, stay consistent and make it a routine. One genuine post a week is enough to keep your name active in local feeds, which feeds into Google's understanding of where your business is and that it's real and current. In our off-page SEO playbook on pages 12 and 14, we outline quick templates and these posts complete with timing suggestions, captions that include local keywords that are natural, so you don't have to guess any of this. And remember, social media doesn't replace backlinks. It creates the moment that leads to them. The more your name circulates locally, the easier it is to earn mentions, citations, and those real links that boost your map visibility. Now that you know that this part is that what builds the community trust, let's move into the next part, which is how to turn those mentions into real backlinks that count. Okay, so let's move on to part 2, which is real mentions and the backlinks that count. And here's the truth that surprises a lot of contractors: is backlinks still matter in 2025. Not but it's not the kind that you just buy in bulk, like through a spam site or through Fiverr. Google still uses backlinks as one of its top 3 local ranking factors, but it's no longer counting the entire number of the total that you actually get. It's measuring the quality in the context. A 2024 backlinko study that reviewed over 11 million SERPs found that websites with links from relevant local or industry cited ranked higher, on average 30% higher than those with generic or paid links. So think of every online mention like a vote of confidence. When a respected local or a industry website links to you, even with just names of your business, Google interprets that as these people are trusted in their community. And here's organic versus paid backlinks. What's the difference? And there are only two ways your business actually gets backlinks. It's through paid or through organic. And paid backlinks are ones that you buy that are sponsored. Maybe it's a guest post package or a link deal or a sponsored article. They almost always come from sites that have nothing to do with foundation repair or waterproofing. And while they look tempting, Google spots them pretty quickly. You'll often see sponsored on the page, or the anchor text feels kind of forced, or the link brings in no traffic. In fact, Google's link spam update in December of 2023 specifically targets these pay-to-play schemes. And as of that update, Google's system will just now ignore and demote sites using paid guest post networks, meaning like those $99 link bundles that quietly tank your trust, and they just completely tank your trust score instead of helping it. The next is organic backlinks, which on the other hand, these are the ones that Google actually rewards. They happen naturally when other sites mention you because you shared something genuinely helpful, a project case study or an educational blog post or a local safety tip. And the easiest way to tell the difference is all you'd have to do is just ask yourself, would this site still link to me if I didn't pay them? And if the answer is no, it's not an organic link. So, where do real mentions actually come from? These three categories are your go-to source, and they're all outlined in this contacts list. And we pitch them inside the examples of our off-page SEO playbook on pages 20 to 24. Industry and trade sites. Submit like a short case study to them with tips to credible associations like Basement Health Association or the National Foundation Repair Association. These actually carry huge topical authority. The next would be local trust builders like your local chambers of commerce or home builder association or a city business directory. Even a small quote in a the Chamber of Commerce blog post counts as a legitimate local mention. Other things like guest articles that teach, like write short educational pieces for community blogs or home improvement magazines. For example, 3 signs your foundation repair is seeing more stress before winter. These will actually earn you backlinks because they help the reader. And the playbook that we have even give you ready to use email templates for pitching these ideas, along with lists of regional directories and local news outlets that have historically linked to services for businesses just like yours. So here's the bottom line. 10 real mentions from trusted local sites will always beat out 100 paid links that nobody reads. And remember, backlinks aren't just about SEO. These same mentions actually build human trust too. And homeowners will actually see your name in the Chamber article or the local newsletter. Those instantly are perceived as credible and more established. So an actionable step here is just pick one local organization or one industry association this month and write a short, helpful piece of content with job photos or a case study with it. That one action can start a chain reaction of backlinks and visibility that compound every single month. So now that we know what real mentions look like, let's see how we actually find these sites that are already helping your competitors get noticed. So we know what these backlinks are looking like here. So let's talk about the fastest shortcut for finding great link opportunities using competitive research. This is honestly one of the most overlooked tactics in local SEO, and you don't even have to guess where you're getting the backlinks from. You can literally see what's already working for other foundation repair and basement waterproofing companies in your area. And here's how it works. If, like, let's say you're in Dallas and you see, structured foundation repair or online foundation repair showing up first on Google, don't assume that they've just cracked some secret code. They've simply built more trusted mentions than everyone else. And you can find them. Tools like SEMrush, Ahrefs, Bright Local's citation tracker, they'll let you see a list of referring domains, which are the websites linking to the mentioning of your competitors. Think of it as referring domains as the digital word of mouth. If the Dallas Builder Association or the BBB, the Better Business Bureau, or local home improvement blogs are linking to them, Google interprets that as a vote of trust. And those same sites are open to you too. And here's why this works so well. A 2024 Ahrefs analysis of 1 billion pages, they actually found that sites with shared referring domains, local crosslinks, tend to outrank unique only profiles by 28% because those shared citation signals to Google that both companies are trusted in that same market. It's also efficient. One competitor you can scan and you can just reveal dozens of different directories or blogs that you might have never found on your own. And here's how you actually do it in practice. You'd open up SEMrush or Ahrefs and type in your competitor's domain and click the backlink gap or referring domains, depending on which one you're using. And then you just filter by the .org or .gov. And any sites with your city's name in it, or that you'll find it in the URL, or just find local or industry specific URLs. The third is you just visit each one of those and you look at how your competitor got the mention. Maybe it was a members directory or a featured story or a sponsored listing. And then 4 is you would reach out to that site with a quick friendly message like, hey John, I saw your article on basement waterproofing. We just finished a similar project in Kansas City, and we have some before and after photos that we'd like to include as well. Would you be open to adding us as a local source? That single email can turn a high authority local mention, and that's an organic backlink. It's gold. You'll find you'll find a step-by-step walkthrough of this exact process in the off-page SEO playbook, and it's mentioned on page 22 and 24, and it includes screenshots of how to pull and report those lists of regional association websites that routinely link out to service professionals just like you. So the key takeaway here is competitor research shows you where the trust already exists and gives you the roadmap to join the same trust spaces instead of starting from scratch there. And once you know where your competitors are earning their credibility, the next step is to strengthen your own. Not with just links, but with real customer reviews and from homeowners that will build trust in the end. So let's just look at exactly how we would do that in a very safe way. And this would be moving straight into part 3, which would be our reviews in reputations that convert. If there's one thing that you can double your visibility and your calls faster than almost anything else, it's reviews. Most contractors do amazing work. The homeowner will even say, I'll leave you a review tonight, and then, life happens and it slips through the cracks. But here's what most people don't realize is that reviews aren't just social proof. They're actually SEO signals. Google actually reads them. They do a few different things. They look at the quality, which equals more reviews equals more trust to them. They look at recency. Fresh reviews tell Google you're still active. They look at keywords. When customers mention things like foundation repair in Tulsa or waterproofed our basement last week, those phrases reinforce what you want to rank for. And according to Whitespark's 2024 local search ranking factor study, reviews now make up roughly 31% of the signals that decide who appear in the Google Maps 3-pack. And Bright Local's 2025 customer survey found that 87% of homeowners say they won't contact a company rated below 4 stars. So your online reputation is literally a lead filter. So how do you actually build reviews without chasing people down? Step 1, make it easy. Send a simple text or an email link right after the job. Automated tools like Podium, Bird's Eye, Nice Job can do this for you, so you're not manually copying and pasting links all the time. The shorter the path, the higher the response rate. In our tests, texts get up to 3 times more reviews than just email alone. Step 3, make it timely. Ask when the customer first sees the finished work and they're excited. That's when the emotion is the highest. And if you wait a week, you're gonna lose the momentum. Step 3, make it visible. Showcase your best reviews everywhere on your Google business profile, your website's homepage, your social media posts. Those fresh reviews get indexed and can even trigger Google's review snippet, rich results under your listing. And step 4 would be just to keep it personal. When you respond, use their name and location. Thanks, Tom in Plano, Texas, for trusting us on your crawl space repair. That one line adds keywords and shows authenticity. And Google notices response rates too. The same Weissmark study that shows businesses that reply to 90% of their reviews rank significantly higher than those that ignore them. So the goal is to create a reputation loop. Happy customers leave reviews. Those customers bring in new customers, and those new customers leave more reviews. So every new review you earn adds fresh keywords, adds fresh activity, and adds fresh trust signals, which push you up further in the Google Map pack and keeps the calls coming in. So quick micro yes, you can see, can you see how even just getting 5 more reviews this past month could have a real impact on your rankings and calls? So before we actually move on, let's cover how to collect those reviews the right way so Google doesn't flag or filter them out. Okay. See, the reviews are actually one of the biggest ways Google decides which business to trust. But Google has gotten a lot stricter on how reviews are collected. And if you take shortcuts or offering discounts for 5 stars or having employees or friends buy them or review them using fake ones, Google can spot this pretty quickly. Their spam filter, the one updated in the 2023, that now automatically removes suspicious patterns like the identical wording of different reviews or different reviews coming from the same IP range. That's why the goal isn't to chase stars. It's to build steady, authentic reviews with a system that grows safely month after month. And here's how you would do it right. Is step 1, make it part of your sales process. Don't treat reviews as an afterthought. When jobs are finished, the homeowner's happy. That's your perfect window. Say something like, hey, if you'd be willing to share your experience on Google, it really helps the other homeowners like you find us. And then hand them a card with a short link or pull up your phone and text it to them right on the spot. The easier it is, the higher your success rate is going to be with this. Step 2 would be use the right link. Grab your direct Google review link from your business profile, the one that opens up your review box automatically. Save it into your notes app or into your CRM so that it's always one tap away. And you can also use automation tools like Podium, Nice Job, and Birdseye, like we mentioned earlier, to send them that same link automatically after the job's complete. Step 3, which would be encourage the 5-star behavior the right way. You can't ask for 5-star reviews, but you can set the stage for getting one by saying things like, we're always striving for 5-star experiences. If you feel it was earned, and it would mean a lot to us. That phrasing actually keeps you compliant while guiding their mindset. Step 4 would be to respond to every review, even the neutral or negative ones too. Keep it really short and keep it genuine. Thanks, Sarah. Glad we could stabilize that wall for you. Or sorry we missed the mark here, John. We're already reaching out to make it right. Responding like that actually sends signals of activity to Google's algorithm and shows them that real people actually care. And in that Weissmark 2024 local ranking study, businesses that reply to 80% of their reviews appear in the map pack nearly twice as often as those that don't. So responding is actually really helpful. So here's a simple review of a system to install this week. At the end of every job, snap a quick photo, text the review link, and thank them personally. Then you could, at the end of each week, check for the new reviews and respond to every single one of them. And then at the end of every month, tally how many you earned and set a goal for next month. This might take about 5 minutes per job, but it builds massive trust over time. So remember, you don't need fake or fast reviews. You need real reviews collected slowly and safely through a process that's made simple and repeatable. And that's what builds the reputation that Google trusts and the homeowners actually choose. So now you got a safe system for review growth. Let's move into part 4 and look at the tools that keep your momentum going month after month. All right, we've built the trust, we've earned mentions, and we've collected the reviews, and now it's time to start talking about keeping that momentum going long term. And this is part 4, the tools and the tracking for momentum. One of the biggest reasons local businesses lose rankings isn't competition, it's inconsistency. They update Google, but they forget Bing. They post one project photo and disappear for 3 months. They get 20 reviews in a week and then none for 6 months. The secret to winning in local search isn't perfection, it's consistency. Google's algorithm, they look for steady, ongoing signals of trust, updates, reviews, mentions, and engagement. The business that stays active, even in small ways, are the ones that hold their rankings all year long. In fact, a 2024 Bright Local study found that businesses updating their listings at least once a month saw an average 17% increase in local visibility to those who only update quarterly. So, how do you stay consistent without burning out? Here's a simple system using the right tools. Number 1, free essentials is your core profiles. Let's just stick with those. Start with your core Google business profile and Bing places. Update the photos, the posts, and hours regularly. Update rewards fresh content. Just swapping in a new project photo every week sends a "we're active" signal to Google or Bing, depending on what you're posting on. The second would be tracking and reporting tools. Tools like Bright Local, Whitespark, or Moz Local track your rankings. They manage your reviews and they audit citations all in one place. And these platforms give you dashboards that can show you where you're strong, where you're inconsistent, and what needs a fix just at a glance. Third would be review and messaging platforms. Use something like Podium, Nice Job, or Birdeye to automate those review requests and reply to messages faster. These tools can actually trigger a review invitation automatically whenever you mark a job for completion. There's no manual follow-up actually needed. The fourth would be the PR and mention tools. If you want to keep building authority, tools like Keyworded or Connectivity, former known as Haro, or SourceBottle, they connect you directly with journalists or bloggers looking for local expert quotes. And that's free PR. That's brand exposure and high quality backlinks without cold pitching someone from you not even knowing who they are. So here's how I'd recommend a structure of this entire system. One would be just weekly updates of your Google business profile with new photos or project posts. The next would be bi-weekly check-ins and reply to every one of them. Then I would run a monthly Bright Local and Moz Local report and fix any consistencies. Then quarterly reach out to one of those local publications or industry sites for mentions or features. And that's it. That rhythm alone will keep your online presence stronger than 90% of local competitors. And remember, you don't need every tool on this list right away. Just start with one listing tracker or one review tool. Nail those first, then layer the rest of them over time. The goal of these tools isn't to get more complexity. It's actually clarity, control, and proof that your marketing is actually working. So now let's bring it all together, and I'll show you the 4 parts of this whole system fit into one simple roadmap. And of course, how to grab our free copy of the off-page SEO playbook so you can start applying this immediately. All right, let's bring it all together. Today we walk through what I call that 4-part trust system, the same framework we use every day at Foundational Marketing Hub to help foundation repair and basement waterproofing professionals to show up higher on Google Maps, earn more calls, or build more long-term credibility online. So let's do a recap. One is, part 1 was trust signals, keeping your business information consistent across every single listing so Google knows exactly who you are and where you are. Part 2 was getting a little ahead of myself. Part 2 was mentioning and backlinks, getting real organic mentions from local and industry websites that actually move the needle. Part 3 was review and reputation, turning those happy customers into steady visibility and credibility that compounds month after month. Part 4 was tools and tracking, building a simple system that keeps your momentum going so nothing slips through the crack. And here's the best best part about all of this is everything we cover today, plus all the steps detailed with examples and tools, is laid out inside of what I put together here for you, the off-page SEO playbook for foundation repair and basement waterproofing professionals. Inside, you're going to find things like a 30-day off-page SEO checklist, so you know exactly what you need to do week by week, verified 2025 directory and citation lists, updated to remove those dead or spammy sites, local mention and PR, templates for sample outreach emails that you can copy and send today, foundation case studies, real examples of contractors who use these steps to rank higher and book more jobs, and then tools, the tool stack and the budget planner we used to compare for free versus paid tools side by side, so you know which one to invest in and where it counts. And this isn't just a theory guide, it's a playbook to turn what you learned today into real results for tomorrow. So go ahead, scan that QR code here on the screen and click the link down below in the description, and you can download your free copy now. You'll get instant access, and it's completely free. There's no forms, just no pitch, just a practical resource to help you start implementing these trust building tactics right away. And if you're thinking, I love this, and I'd rather have someone review my setup and show me where I'm leaving money on the table, don't worry, I'll show you exactly how we're going to do that on the next slide. So before we wrap it up, I just want to say thank you for spending time with me today. If you've been taking notes and you now have a roadmap to show Google and your local market that how your business should deserve to be trusted and how to earn that trust from them. And if you're thinking this all kind of makes sense, but I'd actually love to see how this would apply to my business, here's what to do next. Book a free local one-on-one strategy session with me. Just scan that QR code that you see there, and you'll grab a one-on-one discovery call. On that call with my team and I, you will analyze your current visibility and your online trust signals. We'll spot quick wins so you can implement this immediately, and then we'll show you the gap that's costing you calls and booked inspections. And you'll walk away with a simple plan that ties it all together today. And you'll also get the listings, the mentions, the backlinks, and the reviews all into one cohesive system that we built just for this market. And while you're at it, you can make sure that you scan the QR code for that off-page SEO playbook. And if you already didn't know, it's free and it's packed with everything we went over here in detail. So you can scan that as well right next to it. And we also have next month's webinar, and it's a special one. It's a 2025 wrap-up and what to look forward to next year in 2026. It's a recap of some of the biggest marketing wins, and we're going to talk about in the future about what we're looking forward to in 2026 and what's going to be big then. And we got a special giveaway on that one too, so you're not going to want to miss that one. It's going to be big. And I actually can't wait to reveal what it is, but trust me, it's something that you'll definitely want to be a part of. So go ahead and scan that QR code now and register for it, the one that's on your screen here. And the spots are limited, and this one will always fill up fast because it's tons of value in this one. So before you guys end up going, make sure that if you found any of this helpful, hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss next month's training, and any kind of weekly marketing breakdowns, we'll post them here on our channel. So drop a comment below if you got an idea of if you're planning on implementing any of the strategies we mentioned today, or if you'd like me to cover specific topics in the future. Just let me know then. And thanks again for joining me. I'm Seth Rangel, Foundational Marketing Hub, helping you earn that trust from Google and getting more local calls and book jobs. Thank you guys again for watching all the way through, and I'll see you next month.